Good afternoon and welcome to Thriving Tuesday Moments of Encouragement, or TTMOE at 3:30. We are on time today. Kind of moved this to 3:30. Hey Amy, hey Miss Lucy, how are you? Good to see you, and glad for anyone else who has come in. And hi Britt, we are grateful for your presence on today, and we just want to chat a little bit about what it means to be untoxic. Becoming untoxic, it's a process. A lot of us are petty by nature. And so toxicity is kind of something we got to fight with. But one of the things that I have found is that not only do we have to fight the toxicness that is within us, we've got to start surrounding ourselves by people who are not toxic and untoxing our lives. I know some of these are not real words, but you'll get the drift of where I'm coming from. Hey, sunshine. We've got to untoxify our lives. There's too much toxicity out here in the first place. But if we don't untoxify our circles, our lives, the people around us, we will find ourselves slipping into a pit. And it affects us in a lot of different ways. So when we are surrounded by toxins when we have toxins in our bodies, thank you, Miss Lucy. When we have toxins in our bodies, we have to detox, right? Otherwise, we'll be ill. We'll be sick. Well, the same thing happens with our spirits. Same thing happens with our souls. And so when we are constantly inundated by toxins, either from our own mind and our mindsets and the things that we repeat and rewind and tell ourselves over and over again, that puts toxins in our heads, or when we surround ourselves or allow ourselves to be surrounded by folk who are toxic in nature. I can't express to you enough the importance of revealing to yourself, usually, that you're usually the last to know how toxic the people around you are. But when you find that out, how important it is to press your way to a life detox. Hi, Miss Mayetta. Glad that you're here. We got a life detox because it's easy to slip into darkness, into that place where we are repeating things we've heard, feeling ways that other people feel. Listen, that's why our scripture today is Philippians 4:8, where it says, whatsoever things are, let me just go to it, and you all can see it for yourselves. It says, it didn't populate, so I'll just tell you. What it says is, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are good report, whatsoever things are lovely. If there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. We've got to detoxify our lives to the point where, not that we live in a fantasy world, we know things are out here. Life happens, life be lifing. We know that. But what we don't have to do is continue to wallow in, continue to stir in the negativity of others. We've got to learn how to purge the negative from our lives. I didn't say purge truth. Truth is good. even when it doesn't feel good. Truth is amazing because it's only through truth that we can get on the other side of what we may need to do for ourselves and for our families and in our minds and in our spirits and our souls. I'm not talking about that truth. I'm talking about being around folk who can't ever find anything good. We got to purge that. And that doesn't mean you have to be mean. It doesn't mean that you have to never speak to them. Speak, but keep it moving because toxins grow and they don't let go. Been having some fruit fly issues all over the country, but even in the home. And when you put fruit back out there and they get a wind of it, they come for the fruit and then they multiply. And that's how toxins do us. Toxins do us just like that. When toxins are around, when we are inundated by toxins, when toxic people, toxic thoughts, toxic feelings are all around us, we begin to feel the pull of the toxins. You wonder why you're not excited in the morning when you wake up? You ever notice that you just feel like it's another day, another dollar, another dime, however that is? That's because toxins have infiltrated your life and your spirit. But toxins must be detoxified. And we've got to become untoxic. Again, it's a process. Sometimes we see just keeping it real as something that we should have, but often that keeping it real moment is really toxicity. We gotta let the toxins go. Be done with them. And sometimes that means, as Jonathan McReynolds so beautifully sings, that we have to ask God to deliver us from people. Because often the greatest source of our toxicity are the folks that are around us. Are the words that they say, the never have anything good to say, the always have an issue, always a victim, always finding something wrong with everything. That is toxicity, and it cannot be in your life and not get some of it on you. I don't care how strong you are, how important, how good you are about sifting. When you are inundated with toxicity around you, you get some on you. And you begin to think that way. You begin to think like a victim. Think like everything is woe is me. Like, yeah, everybody's coming for me. No, stop. Purge. Sit before the Lord and purge. And whatever things are lovely, whatever things are good, whatever things are honest, whatever things are true, think on those things. Because toxicity will grow like mold. And there's nothing good in it for us. So, just like the slide that's behind, the graphic that's behind, it's got the hazard circled. That means we got to sift. We got to do the separation of the trash. I know when many of us, when recycling started, we were like, how are we supposed to do this? This goes here, this goes that. No, we got to do that in our lives. That which is good and is recyclable and reusable, we got to separate that. That which is garbage, we got to get rid of it. But that which is hazard has to go to the landfill. And the only one that can handle that is God. So give that over to God and detoxify your life. I see all your comments, and I know that it's resonating with some folk, and it's necessary. We got to let the toxins go. And you know where the toxins are. Because sometimes it's fun to hang out in toxicity. Yeah. You know, like I said, we all got a little petty Betty in us every now and then. But when we get to that point where those toxins become our first point of reference, when the negative comes up first, when we aren't looking for goodness, when we aren't looking for honesty, when we aren't looking for truth. You know, we live in a country that lives in toxicity. And we've got to be a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a chosen people who sees it and separates ourselves out so that we can be what God would have us to be and be the kind of air that God wants us to be. We got to diffuse this darkness. We got to be light. And in order to be light, we can't get overshadowed with toxins, because we'll feel like we're shining underneath, and the cloud that's over us will be absolutely black in darkness. I don't want to use black because I don't want us to think black is bad. Black is not bad. Darkness is. And however you want to describe that, however you want to define that, that's on you. But darkness cannot be the place that we live. We got to take those toxins, call them out for what they are. Call them out for what they are. And then send them to that place that only God can handle them. And we got to keep doing it. It's something we got to do on repeat. You know that when you want a playlist to play over and over again, we got to do that with this sending the toxins to the landfill, because every day stuff is poured into our heads, whether we're watching it, whether we're listening to it, whether somebody is pouring out their lives and their lives are filled of toxicity. We've got to be able to do that sifting, to do that separating, to move those things around and put those hazardous things in a place where only God can help us to stay positive in. So, give the landfill toxins to God. Remember that we are a called out people. Thank y'all. You all are helping me today. And yes, and we got to get out from among them. And that doesn't mean you act mean to people like you're better than everybody else. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to recognize toxins when you see them and be able to say, devil, I see you, and move around. And when they get on you, be able to take that spiritual bath, that spiritual shower, and get them off of you. And recognize that the only place that you can send them is to the one who can absolutely make them go away. And that's to God. So I pray that you will join me on this journey to becoming untoxic. And when toxins come, be able to recognize them and say, not today. Not today, devil, not today. You will not get in my head. I hope this helps somebody today. I know that we're all dealing with a lot of things. We got a country that's dealing with a lot of things, and toxins are everywhere. But find your joy, find your peace, find your hope. And as the word says, think on these things. Yes, let those your light shine so that it diffuses the darkness, so we can clearly see what's reusable, what's recyclable, what is trash, but what is toxic. And then we get rid of it. Trash we can handle. Toxins will infiltrate our spirits, will take over our souls. Purge them, get rid of them, become untoxic, and be encouraged. I'll see you soon. God bless you for being here. Good to see you, Marie. It's so happy. I'm happy for new people who are coming. You all keep coming, keep sharing, telling others. Just a few moments in the middle, at the end of the day, at the almost end of the workday, but just to say, hey, lift up your head, be encouraged. See you soon.